Good afternoon, everyone. It's Kirsten here for a Thursday spa business break. So some of you are starting to head back to work. Most of you guys are in the States. If you are in Canada, that would be Saskatchewan. I think that's already opened. But for the most part, the industry is still in that closure and, kind of preparing to get ready to reopen. But I really, really, really want to hit home that what I've noticed about the situation with COVID and having to be closed in the spa industry is that I've known this for a while. The spa industry has been very, very slow to adopt technology, particularly marketing technology. And you've heard a lot of us, like myself and Daniela Warner and Maxine Drake and, the people through strategies. You've heard us talking for years and years and years about adopting technology as far as marketing, digital marketing. And we've been beating the drum for a really long time, but we've also kind of been up against an industry that is primarily one-on-one brick and mortar businesses. So I can understand why it's been slow to adopt, because you haven't really had to. You've had a business where you can communicate your knowledge, you can communicate education, you can communicate promotions, you can communicate updates in person. And so I know most of us in the industry have often had the thought of like, well, I'm going to see these people on a regular basis anyways, monthly. I don't really need to be consistent in my email marketing, or I don't really need to be consistent in my social media marketing, or I don't need to be updating my website as much. And so in my opinion, our industry has been fairly apathetic when it comes to digital marketing, because we kind of haven't had to, in a way. The ones that have adopted it have absolutely seen increased growth faster in their businesses, and they've been seen, like, as far as just the amount of clients coming through with their business, but also increased revenues. They've been able to leverage their sales through using digital marketing technology. So here we are, we're closed because of COVID, and all of a sudden you did not have the opportunity to have one-on-one interactions, to share your knowledge, share your promotions, all that kind of stuff. And so for those of you that haven't been consistently focused on your email marketing, so at least minimum an email a month. But I would like to see more like 2 emails a month, even just a weekly email. Now, they don't, if you're doing emails like that, you're not going to be sending out promotional emails all the time. That's just not how content strategy works. I think many of you follow Gary Vaynerchuk. It was many years ago that he wrote a book called Jab, 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 Right Hook. And the concept of that, and it still works to this day, is in your marketing, his jabs are you giving something to your followers on social media. And this time we're talking about the people on your email list. So in your content, you're going to give something. So like educational content, give something, just little tidbits. And then your right hook is the ask for a promotion. So there's lots of ways to do email marketing as far as what kind of content you want to put in it if you're doing weekly or twice a month content, without it coming across as salesy and icky, because I know you guys don't like that either. So what we're really talking about right now is that you are feeling the burn of not being able to communicate with your clients in person. And if you haven't kind of trained your email list, your clients on your email list, that you are sending out certain bits of information, sending out emails on a regular basis, because that's what your list needs. They kind of need to be trained as far as what to expect. If you don't send them an email and then all of a sudden you're like peppering them with like promotional emails, that's just bad form. That's just kind of like showing up at a party and talking about yourself all the time. We don't want to do that. So this is why we want to have a more strategic plan with our email marketing, so that, we're not just coming out of the gate when we can't have them in the spa and just peppering them with promotional emails. All right. So if you've learned anything about being closed. It's that you probably could have been jumping on the bandwagon for technology, marketing technology, and more consistently much sooner than kind of right now. So even though maybe right now you're like, oh my God, I totally see what's happening and I kind of dropped the ball, that's okay. When you know better, you do better. But what I don't want our industry to do is just kind of sit back apathetically and not make any adjustments to their business through this situation. If it's done anything to our industry, it has shown us very, very clearly that we have been slow to adopt digital marketing, particularly e-commerce, all right? Particularly, as far as virtual appointments, virtual programs. Now, I know some of you that doesn't work for your business model and maybe some of your services like waxing and massage, but there are parts of the industry that can certainly, and there's lots of even brow artists like Regina. She pivoted in her business fairly quickly early in this situation. She had virtual brow appointments that she walked her clients through doing their own brows. So, we kind of have to, I've been talking to a lot of spa owners the past couple of weeks, and the common theme I see through it is that you guys are still really attached to how you used to do things. And I kind of feel like you're not quite ready to admit that part, the old way we were doing business, needs adjusting. And that's okay. You have to come to that realization on your own. That's part of our personal growth through this situation. Lots of us are really diving into our feels and what we want to do and our future. So there's lots that happens. But I really want us to see this situation as an opportunity for what we can adjust in our business. And today in particular, I'm talking about email marketing because our industry absolutely has not been doing this very well. All right, so why does the spa industry need to get serious about email marketing? Well, if you can't talk to your clients in person, and then if you're only relying on social media to communicate, whether it's just, hey, I really miss you guys, whether it's to communicate some education, whether it's to communicate promotions, not everybody's going to see your posts. Both Facebook and Instagram, which are the biggest platforms that our industry uses, we already know it's turned into a pay-to-play platform. So unless you're putting money towards some of your posts or creating paid ads, you have to know that most people are not seeing your content. So if you're relying on social media only to share your information, most of them are not getting it. All right. Now, the other positive about email marketing is that most of you don't do list building. And if you're not familiar with the term list building, that would be like if you have a newsletter sign up, if you have an opt-in, so that would be, enter your name and email address in and get 20% off your first service. Those are list builders. All right. Or if you have a free skin tip sheet, that's another list builder too. So I know that's kind of not really done a lot in our industry. And it's kind of one of those areas that can absolutely be developed. And when you're list building, you're basically trying to get cold traffic. So people that don't really know you onto your list. And then they're part of your email sequences that go out, okay? Then you get to warm them up. So the people that have already come into your business are obviously on your email list. That list is a warm audience. They already know, like, and trust you. Versus a cold audience, say if you're doing Facebook ads or Instagram ads, not to your followers, that is to a cold audience. It's much harder to generate sales to a cold audience as to a warm audience. So you've got an email list. They're already a warm audience. They already know, like, and trust you. So that when you do give that promotional content in there, you are much more likely to get a yes on that than you would if you just posted it on social media. So email marketing is a much, much, much stronger sales tool than social media could be, especially if you're relying on free social media. All right. The other big bonus about email marketing is it's very, very low cost. Now, I know some of the platforms have free versions on them. MailChimp is starting to get on my nerves as a free platform. What I noticed is that they're starting to take away little features from the free version. But there's lots of other ones that are good and fairly low cost considering per month, right? So we've got MailerLite, we've got Active Campaign, there is, I use Aweber, there's Constant Contact. There's multiple platforms for email that are very easy to use, drag and drop editors. They even have some templates. You could even hire somebody to create a template for you. Like hire somebody to create a seasonal template for you for like spring, summer, winter, and fall, and just change out the headers. And then all you have to do is plug in your content, right? But the point I want to make here is it's a fairly low cost investment for you to communicate your knowledge and your offers. Okay. You can also make it way more personal. So if you have been using an email platform, you know how you can do like, in your text, you're like, hi, and then there's like a merge tag, it's called. And basically you can insert their name and the system will populate their email with their name. So it comes across as feeling much more personalized. And when it feels more personalized, your viewers, again, you have a better chance of kind of tapping into the emotional response, that know, like, and trust response, and giving you better sales results than just posting on social media, or not even being able to communicate with them in your treatment rooms, right? Another great thing about email marketing is that you've got insights, so you can keep track of what your open rates are. So if you're unsure about the beauty industry open rates, I think MailChimp does this every year, every 2 years. And I believe the last time I checked, open rates for this beauty industry was around 17%. So, you know, if you are looking at open rates and you're like, oh my God, I've only got like 25% open rate, that's actually not too bad. But if you didn't know that the average is 17%, you would think you were failing. All right, so it may mean that you need to do a little bit of education around what email marketing, like what is good email marketing? What should your stats be? You can play around with, when you're looking at your stats, you can play around with things in order to try to get more opens or more click-throughs. And click-throughs mean like if you have a link in the body, if somebody clicks on it, they track that as a click-through rate. So, one of the things that I did with my email marketing, I guess a couple of months ago, is I used to send it out Wednesday morning. And I had noticed that my open rates were starting to decline a little bit. And we just started testing, sending it out Tuesday night at 10 p.m. And when I was reviewing my data, my open rate increased by 10%. So because it's got analytics, I want you to make sure that you're looking at your analytics and that you're doing something with them. So now you know a little bit more about how it works and how to adjust things. So definitely play around with your sends, what time you're sending it, what day you're sending it, until you find a little sweet spot there. What else would I have? The other thing about email marketing is that you can use it to direct traffic to your social media. So I'm really hoping that most of you guys are starting to get on the bandwagon of doing Facebook Lives or IGTV Lives, because those are, I would call them kind of, they're worth the most. They're posts that are worth the most to Facebook and Instagram. And again, this is another way for you to communicate your knowledge and your updates and your value to your clients while you're not in your facility. But you can use your emails to direct traffic to that. So I was doing a Facebook Live today. Here I am. I could have sent out an email this morning that just had a quick little email. It says, hey gang, it's Thursday. That means it's Spa Business Break on my Facebook page at 12 noon Pacific. Please join me here. And I'd put a link to my Facebook page. That will increase more viewers. You can also do the same thing, send an email out afterwards, maybe so today's Thursday, maybe I'll send an email out on Sunday morning really early saying, hey, did you catch the replay of Spa Business Break on Thursdays? If you didn't, here's the link to catch it again. And so again, that will drive traffic to your platforms and the information that you want to share with them. All right, so the bottom line is that COVID is going to be around for a while. And even though we're talking about getting back to work, which is awesome, we have to be prepared that there is quite likely going to be another wave. And that possibly means another wave of closures. And so we need to change how we are doing business in the spa industry, because we can't wait a whole year for this to be over before we can kind of get back into our regular routine of communicating with clients at the spa. We need to do things differently. So this is the perfect opportunity. Shift now. Look at your email marketing strategy. How can it be augmented? How can it be improved? Because we need to be able to communicate with our clients without being at the spa and seeing them face to face, because it is just so, we just don't know what's going to be happening within the next year, other than it's quite likely going to be up and down, especially for our industry where, we're one of the last to close. It means we're going to be one of the first to close. So let's get on board. Let's kind of get with the program with other other businesses of 2020 and kind of what they're doing, and get serious about your email marketing as a way of consistent communication, because it's one of the strongest ways that you can stay connected. And when you can stay connected, that is how you are able to maintain your relationship with your clients. All right. Before, while they're away, while you guys can't be together in the treatment room. So let me see if there's any comments here. I know sometimes this is a little glitchy and doesn't give me comments. I can see who's watching. All right, well, I'll take a look afterwards. I'm curious if you have been doing consistent email marketing. I want to know, how many emails do you send out a month? Do you break them up into themes? So I know some are doing like maybe the first of the month is promotional. Second week of the month is more just educational, talking about maybe ingredients or how a service works. Another month could be another week could be full-on promotional. Could be asking pre-orders. Do you need anything? Blah, blah, blah. So you can break it up so that you have a pattern of how you want to send out your emails as far as topics and content. All right. So if you are struggling, and like I know many of you are, of just kind of wrapping your head around like, oh my God, not only will it be very different going back to work with our new sanitation protocols, we also have to keep in mind that we need to change how we are doing business in the spa industry to be more digital, because especially right now and through the next year, we need to be able to adjust and move around while COVID is still a situation and affecting our ability to be able to work. So let me know if you are struggling with your email, if you're like, I don't even know where to get started. So if you are on my email list on Tuesday night, you would have received one. Then I have in there was last week's blog. If you hadn't watched it, watch this Facebook Live, or if you hadn't read the blog, that was sent out. But in that email, I also included a very, very limited time offer. I have it open until tomorrow, where you can purchase a 1-hour coaching call with me for $97. So that is like a third of the price for my single sessions. I'll have that open until tomorrow. I'll probably close it off on Sunday or Saturday morning. But essentially what you do is I'll put the link in the comments here. You fill out the little information. When you click on the link, it will send you an invoice. then it'll send you a booking link to book your call, and you can book it anytime you want. It's just that I'm going to stop the sales for this particular $97 coaching call promotion tomorrow night, Friday night. So if you're wanting somebody to just kind of bounce some ideas off, or you've got a list of questions that you were just hoping to pick somebody's brain about, pick my brain. We'll do it. Let's do it. So I've done quite a few of these already this week, which is why I'm just leaving it as a limited time, because I've got some other projects I need to work on too. All right, that's it for me today on our Thursday Spa Business Break. I wish you lots of love right now. I know it's difficult. We keep kind of going back and forth between like, oh, I'm really enjoying this kind of spaciousness, to like, oh my God, I don't like, is this, are we ever going to get back to work? Will it ever be the same? Will I ever get back to how I was working and what our revenues were? But right now we can kind of just be where we're at and be mindful of where we're at and what we can change, what we can't change, and just think more critically about how we're doing spa business. All right, that's it for me. We'll see you next Thursday at 12 noon Pacific, right here on Kirsten Foss Coaching. See you then.